Reggaeton came out of a blend of music, a salsa, some may say, a blending of tomatoes and onions and celery and everything that goes into this mishmash of music. Maybe not celery, but I'm talking bamba, polenta, merengue, Latin, bachata, all things like that. These beats were originated in the Caribbean. Shabba Ranks was actually one of the first people to bring this stuff to the fore, and the use of what they call the dembow beat, D-E-M-B-O-W. That's a you hear it on many reggaeton songs. That is not too old. The beat itself is very old, but the incorporation of that into kind of hip hop and rap, you hear people like Daddy Yankee rapping over the dembow beat. That's relatively new. We're talking the 1990s. There are older folks who call themselves reggaeton musicians, but for the most part, this massive influx into North America, where most records are sold, unfortunately, happened in the 90s. It's a hybrid of music, Caribbean, Latin American, all those places. Reggaeton is most associated with Puerto Rico. That's where many of the artists come from. Many of the best artists come from. And I'll mention a few of my favorites. Of course, Daddy Yankee has his own style. He is, as he calls himself, the boss. And I would go with that because he's one of the people that broke all the music to all of us gringos up here in North America. He has a unique way of mixing his vocals, very trebly, so when he's firing off the rhymes, it sounds real quick, much like the beats that they lay down underneath that stuff. Don Omar is another amazing reggaeton artist that people should definitely check out. One of my favorite, I don't even know if you want to consider these people reggaeton straight up. They're more hip hop, and they're really taking reggaeton to the next level, or they did. This is nothing new. This is Calle Tracy. And for all you gringos out there, that means 13th Street 13, or 13th Street. So those guys, brothers, Visitante and Residente, I think is what they call themselves. I forget their real names, but they took it to another level. Their first album was mind-boggling good. The second album equally as good. They won the Latin Grammy Awards, which they're down and dirty. They're from some. At least look at one of the guys went to Savannah School for the Arts or whatever it's called. What is it, Ruby?
Savannah College of Art.
Yeah, something like that. So they're not, dirt poor folks, but they came up. They laid down some sick albums. It's funny to go back some of the history of reggaeton music since the 70s. There's been things that you could call reggaeton, Spanish-speaking reggae music, and that was mostly from Afro-Panamanian people. There's some amazing artists out there. El General, let's see who else. Black Apache is another one. Those were people that it wasn't defined as reggaeton at the time. The genre hadn't taken off in the way it has now. But these are one of the, I would say, founding fathers of reggaeton music.
Yo me voy con el pueblo, con los que se joden pa' ganarse un sueldo. Mi mai empeñó hasta las tetas, si yo me acuerdo, pa' que yo tuviera comida en el